I want to respect your time. Guys, if you're on and you can like put your heart and soul into this call, could you guys please, if you can, show your face just because I want you guys to truly like be in this call. Um, if you guys don't know who Kayla is, this is Kayla Sykes. We actually met at NLC this past year. Before then, I didn't know who Kayla was, but we just, I don't know, like I think we just kind of all hit it off while we were there at NLC. If you don't know what NLC is, it's New Leader Conference. And when they say it's a game changer, it is a complete game changer for your business, regardless if you are going there as a 1-star or in Kayla's case, she went there as a 5-star elite coach. And she had just to kind of, I'll let her tell her story, but it was this time, I'm thinking last year, where she was like, I'm going to do this. Like, I'm going to be an elite coach. And so it was a very super like sudden, like I'm going for it type thing. And I just love that piece of her story, and I'll let her tell the rest of her story. But she's a twin mom, and she's been coaching since 2017. You guys, she has never missed Success Club. She's a 2-time elite coach, and she's now a 7-star lifetime coach. And so I wanted to bring her on. There's a couple of our diamonds are on. So we're all holding, and Danica is right, like super close as well. So I just want you guys, she'll end up bringing the fire. So I know how Kayla is. She'll bring the fire to you guys, but she's also not going to BS and beat around the bush. Like that's just not who she is either. So I'm going to go ahead and let Kayla jump in and just roll with it tonight. Because I think we all kind of just need this to light our fires, get us through. We have 2 more weeks of qualification, you guys, and 10 points is what we need. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Laura just locked in Success Club, so we're down to 8 points. So
yes, sister.
so we're knocking it out one Success Club at a time.
Oh, I have chills for y'all. I'm so excited.
Just a couple more weeks, and fingers crossed. But I'm gonna let you tell your story and just kind of how you beat the odds last year going into this.
Yeah, totally. No, guys, I really appreciate you guys jumping on. So I come to these types of calls like just here to share my story, because I really feel that it's important to hear from someone who started but like didn't sprint. And because oftentimes we see a lot of coaches in the network, one of my coach besties is one of them, Shannon Harvey, if y'all know her, that they start and they go, they hit milestone after milestone. And that just was not me. So I really want to share my story and just give you guys some hope and hopefully inspire you and bring that fire. But I'm an open book, so feel free to drop any questions in the chat and I'll be more than happy to answer. But so like Heather said, I started coaching back in March of 2017. People actually don't realize that I've been around that long, but I have. And I was one of the weird ones. Like I actually started to like work the business. I didn't start as a discount coach. I had been stalking my coach, Ashley Molstad, I was a stage 5 stalker, and I did that for about a year. And it was, I had just had the boys. So I'm a twin mom of 4-year-olds, and I had them in 2016. And so at that point I was ready to get back into working out and everything like that, because I had been working out and going to a group fitness style gym, kind of like an Orange Theory, but it was a lot, much more smaller scale. So we were like family there. So I was able to go when I was on maternity leave from the job that I worked at a local credit union here in Clarksville. I'm right outside of Nashville. I'm sure y'all know where Nashville is. But I was able to go because I could like literally take my kids in their car seats and just set them in the floor, and we would just do our workouts and stuff. But guys, like if you're a mom and you know how this is going back from maternity leave and you're like, whoa, whoa, this is different. I can't make my classes anymore. It's hard for me to like go after work because, bedtime routine and all that jazz. So like I said, I've been following Ashley and I was like, you know what? I've always talked smack about at-home fitness. Like, I was such a hater back then. And I was like, this may be the thing that I actually need in my season of life that I'm in right now. But I was also very intrigued at the way that she shared the business and like what she did too. Because it was very just nonchalant, like, I run these groups, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I love the community, because if I'm going to decide to leave this gym that I'm paying $124 for and going twice a week, that I've got to have that community. I've got to have that support. And so I ended up enrolling. Back then it was like $200 for the basic challenge pack. And so I enrolled. And honest moment here, I put it on a credit card because I had just started, with the boys had just started preschool, daycare, whatever you want to call it. And here we were paying like almost $1,300 a month for them to go full time, because I was working full time as well, and my husband too. So I put it on a credit card, and I was just like, whatever. Like, my husband was totally fine. He was like, you do what you need to do. And I was like, I really want to actually like do this as a business too. And he was like, sure, whatever. So, I started, and really what I did was I just watched what Ashley did. And I was like, okay, so she shares these types of things, and I'm going to try to like make it my own, I'll say this, not all new coaches are like that. They're not as, taking initiative and putting in the work. But so that's what I did. I just started simply sharing my journey. I didn't necessarily promote online coaching or anything like that. I was just sharing my fitness journey. So now I was like, I was just doing 21 Day Fix, treating it like a diary on social media, on Instagram. And so I decided in April, so this was March, I decided that next month to just start kind of like sprinkling the opportunity and asking people to do it with me. And so I hit Success Club that in April. And back then, Success Starters, you had to hit Success Club the first 3 consecutive months. I was not a success starter. I'll own that. So I like to throw that out there. Like, if you're a success starter, boss girl, like, you go, girl, because I was not one. But so anyways, I just again just started doing the things. And when I say do the things, like whatever I had learned or I heard people talking about doing, I'm like, okay, well then I've got to do it too, because to me, success leaves clues. Whatever they're doing, I need to give it a shot, no matter how scared and poop in my pants I want it to, like I was like, I got to do it. So did that, I started building my community and everything like that, and hitting Success Club every month, because after that first month, I was like, I'm never not hitting Success Club. Because to me, to build a sustainable business, you have to be hitting Success Club. I don't care if it's just 3 people a month, you have to. Okay. So I had that ingrained in my head. And that's another thing that I always ingrain in my coaches is like, you've got to hit Success Club if you're wanting to build a sustainable business. So anywho, I was also at the same breath, like nervous to ask people about the coaching opportunity, like nervous to really say, hey, would you even want to enroll with the discount? All of my people were customers. And I'll never forget, Ashley texted me. She was like, okay, girl, like you're hitting Success Club. You're doing something that typically people can't do. And that's enrolling customers. She's like, usually like we enroll coaches, like what's going on? Or what's your secret? And I was like, I'm not offering the discount piece. Literally. And she was like, do you realize like where you could be in this business if you would have just like offered that? And I had limiting beliefs. I was so scared that people were going to turn me away or think that I was trying to get one up on them. And it was like, no, I'm offering them to save some money. That's all we're doing here, And so I ended up going enrolled, y'all. 6 months after I started coaching, I went enrolled. How silly is that? Like, it took me that long to go enrolled, but no, yeah, just no, don't pull a Kayla. Always offer the coach discount. So anyways, we're 6 months into the business at this point. I started to pick up steam, and I experienced my first fourth quarter. So we're in fourth quarter now, Q4. You've heard it's like difficult and it's slow and whatever. Laura, you're shaking your head, sister. I get it. I do. But I told some of my team today, actually, because they're feeling the same thing. I said, well, guess what? I said, coming from someone who's been around the business for 4 quarters now, it's harder, yes. But if you're doing the things, if you're consistently inviting and showing up and sharing and doing all that, you're not going to have a problem. You're not. I've hit Success Club 10 plus every November and December since 2017. Okay. It's possible. You just have to believe. And sometimes you may have to get a little bit creative, and I can give you an example of that here in a minute. But so anyways, but I always joke around and say, like, when I jumped into this business, I was not one of those people that felt like I had to know every little thing to get started. I just jumped in and was like, well, let's see what's going to happen here, and I say that because January 2018 was a very kind of like a little pivotal moment for me. I decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for Success Club 10 All-Star. I heard about this and I was like, well, I'm going to go for it. And I texted Ashley about it. And she was like, you go, girl, but like you've already started. Cause I thought it was from January to December, or January, whatever it was. And she was like, you're already 2 months into that. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she was like, yeah, you're already on your way. I had no idea. Again, didn't know anything about anything. And so I was like, okay, cool. So that was like my first goal. And so I encourage y'all to start setting smaller goals, because if you have a smaller goal, it's like you feel more capable of achieving it. Cause you're like, it's just this one thing. I can do this. If I can just focus on this one thing, I got this. So that was my goal. Now, that year I decided it was going to be the year I ripped off the Band-Aid, and I was going to try anything and everything that scared the crap out of me. Coming from someone who never took risks, never, like avoid them like, the plague or whatever. And so at the beginning of February that year, 80 Day Obsession had just launched. I was like, I'm going to go all in on 80 Day Obsession. February 5th, I will never forget. It's my sister's birthday. The very first day that I have that program, we have a family gathering for her birthday. Food, cake, all that stuff. And I said, okay, I'm going to take my food over there. I'm not starting off day one like, shitty. I'm going to actually do this. And I'm one that preaches, live your life, balance, all that jazz and whatever. I love an ice cold beer. I love tacos, guacamole, all that stuff. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to be proof that this works. And I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it, that I am capable of hard things. And so I did. I finished 80 Day Obsession, still with the goal of hitting Success Club 10 minimum every month, because to me, once you achieve that, or once you achieve something, you're like, I can do this again, or I can do, XYZ now that I've done this. Like, you start to pour into your belief bucket, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Your belief bucket. And so I was like, okay, we started, I was doing 80 Day Obsession. I had the best results of my life. I actually found myself yesterday comparing myself to where I was back then, because I was like really like good and fit and feeling good. But either way, around this time, it was April, I was almost done with the program, and Ashley had reached out to me and some coaches, and she was like, hey, like, I want us to go for 10 star. Again, I didn't know what that meant. I just knew like we needed to get to Diamond. And so we get in this group chat, and I've got, people in there that had been, I guess, just enrolled for like 2 weeks. They hadn't been around very long. And you got me over here, 6 month to Emerald type of gal. And I'm still at Emerald and, not still hitting Success Club and stuff, but not building to Diamond. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I'll do it. I'll get in there. Well, I went into it with the notion or with the thought of, okay, I'm a part of a team. This is a team thing. We're doing it for the team. Me going for Diamond is not only going to help the team, it's also going to help me build my business, which duh, like, of course, let's do it. Let's level up, right? Because I feel that when you're around other people that are leveling up, you have no choice but to level up or level out, is what I say. Level up, level out. Like, which way you going? And so, I started seeing some of these girls hitting Diamond. I'll never forget Allie Griffith. If y'all know Allie Griffith, she locked in Diamond. She had been coaching for like a month, y'all. And I'm like, but I was like, you know what? If she can do it, I can do it too. And so we ended up going superstar, y'all. We ended up locking in 15 star. I was the last diamond, the very last possible day to lock in diamond. And we did it. We did it together. We rallied, and, it was so cool to be a part of. And I was like, okay, well, I've finished 80-day obsession, which that did help, I feel, get me to diamond, because it was like I was sharing my journey and I was showing what was possible. If you haven't dove into a program and really given it your all, and really treated this like your job, I encourage you to do that, because that also helped me build that momentum to get to diamond. Because guess what? I never dropped diamond once I got there. I never did, because I had so much cushion that it was just like, well, I'm not going back now. Like, I've got to keep going. What's next? And so I held diamond again for another year, and I didn't have any working coaches. So to get to diamond, I built my husband and I built my sister, Macy. And I was like, just doing what I could just to kind of, keep them afloat or whatever. And I started, let's see, that was 2018. So locked in Success Club All-Star or whatever. And I was like, well, now that I'm here, I'm going to go for Success Club 10 Legend. Like, we're going to do the damn thing. And so at the beginning of 2019, I'd been working I just hit like my 11-year mark at the credit union. And so what I did back then was I was a part of our training department, and really I loved like training and teaching and mentoring and doing all that stuff. I got to a point where I was just like burnout. I was just over it. I loved the leaders. I loved my job. So I'm going to say that. I loved my job, had incredible benefits, loved the organization, didn't hate it. Didn't go into this thinking, well, I'm going to make coaching my full-time gig because I love my job. But I got to a point where things started changing and I didn't like it. Like, I like change. I'm totally cool with that. But our department was getting treated like shit, basically. And we were so thin, like it was just insane how bad it was. And I remember having this moment in the bathroom at work, and I just broke down because this sounds kind of morbid, and I apologize, but I feel like you need to hear it. So I was going through social media, I was going through Instagram, and for some reason I kept coming across a lot of like infant loss awareness posts. And I don't know if it was that month or what it was, but there was a post that came up, and it was about a mom of twins, and she lost one of them. And that moment I just said, I've got two healthy babies, not one, I've got two. I got to do something different here. Okay. I never thought I would want to stay home with my kids. I honestly, I didn't think it would financially be possible, because I just, the thought of living off of one income like scared me, scared us. So I remember that happened, and then I was like, okay, I kept asking for signs. I was like, give me a sign. Like, I need to know, like, when is the right time to throw in the towel here and just go coaching full time. And again, this was February of 2019. And at that time, I had enrolled a girl who was wanting to work the business, a little firecracker. I actually trained her at the credit union, and I knew what she was capable of when it came to serving our members. And I just knew, I felt really good about her. So in March, I was driving on my way to work, and you guys have heard PD, do your personal development, PD. Okay. So 2 years in the business, guys, 2 years in the business. I was listening to this podcast episode, and it was an episode about like, why not you, or why you can. It was I don't know if you guys know Keisha Fitzgerald, Empower Her. I love that podcast. But I listened to it, episode 35. Why you can, highly encourage this one. And it just hit me that day. I was like, well, this is the day. We're going to do it. I've decided that we were going to, I was going to put in my notice and whatever. And I waited a little bit, of course. I waited a few weeks before I did, just based off of certain circumstances at work. And so I put in my notice, and I gave them like a 6-week notice, because that's just who I am. I'm like, well, let me try to help you train the next trainer, So anyways, that was the scariest but most relieving feeling of my life. I was like, okay, we're going to do it. And again, only one working coach, true working coach. And it was a diamond coach. Because I feel like we think that we've got to be, a 5-star, a 10-star, or whatever that looks like, to actually make the jump. And that's not the case. Like, you know, I did make sure I was making consistent income and things like that, but it's all going to be determined on, you know, you and the work you're putting in and what you're comfortable with. So I put my notice in and they were super supportive. I mean, I remember just bawling like a baby because I have so much respect. I still talk to my managers still to this day. But it was time for me to go. It was time for me to do something different and take a chance on me for once. So I did. I left in June of 2019, had just hit 1-star. So the girl I was talking about actually hit diamond, and we went to Summit as a new 1-star team. And I know y'all have heard this. Summit's amazing. It's awesome. It was my actual first Summit. I didn't go the first year because I didn't know anybody. I didn't go the second year, even though we went Superstar and had this big, you know, Ashley was top coach that year. I felt so bad if I didn't get to go that year. So last year, or 2019, I was like, I'm going this time. I'm making it happen. And I took some people with me. And I remember sitting in the stands and, you know, just sitting there at Lucas Oil Stadium, just looking down and seeing all the tables of like the elite and premier coaches and stuff. And I was like, that's so cool. And watching them walk across the stage, like I was genuinely excited for these women. I was like, this is so awesome. So damn cool. They need to be proud of themselves. Like, this is a huge accomplishment. Again, had no idea what it took to get to elite. I didn't know what that meant. You know, I just knew it was like the tippy top of the company. And I remember asking a couple of my coaches that were there. I was like, guys, like, where do y'all want to be this time next year? What do y'all want to do? And like, they threw out, you know, some goals and this and that. And I said, they were like, well, what do you want? Where do you want to be? Where do you want the team to be? And I was like, I want us to be 5-star elite. Like, wouldn't that be cool? I was like, you know, I don't know how this is going to happen. I don't really have a lot of working coaches. We'll figure it out, but we could do this, you know, we'll figure it out. And I just, something told me, like, just believe, choose to believe, even though I didn't want to believe it, because I thought it was going to be like any other time where I put something out into the world and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. And then I never did it. But I was just like, you know, I'm going to do it. So this was July of 2019. So around like September, I think it was, I actually had asked some of us to check our, report, our elite report. And I was like, I don't even know how to do that. Like, tell me how to do it. I don't know. I never look at it because, again, elite was not on my radar. Okay. I was thrilled for 1-star. I was like working on trying to get to 2-star. I didn't know how I was going to do that again. But I looked at the elite report and so I screenshot it to her and she was like, Kayla, you were like 5 points from elite. And I was like, what? Like, I didn't know how to read it. If you guys look at it, like, it's so confusing. And I was like, what? Like, I'm close to elite. I only have 1 diamond. She was like, well, yeah, but you have enough points. Like, you know, and I'm like, well, shit. I'd be damned if, you know, we don't try to go for this and, you know, we have enough points. Let's try. So I remember just kind of looking at the downline and like thinking, okay, who is a potential? I just had a new, around this time, I just had a new coach who actually was at Summit. She wasn't a coach yet then. She just went to kind of like see the things. Heather, it was Shelby. And so she ended up locking in diamond and we started 2-star qual. This is September. Okay. Or August, because I was on vacation. It was like the end of August. And I was like, okay, cool. We're at 2-star. But then I still was just like, who are these other people going to be? And I had a few working coaches. Then they were kind of hitting Success Club or at least getting enrollments. And I remember reaching out to a group of people and I said, we're going to call this the Elite 8. All right. The Elite 8. And so I had 8 people in a group chat and I said, let's do this. Let's run for this. Well, guess what? 2 weeks later, one of them quit. Another week later, another one quit. And I was just like, oh Lord, how are we going to do this? You know? And so I, just kept pushing, guys. I just kept choosing to believe. And y'all, this is coming from someone who never believed in anything that I was, like, I never thought I was capable of anything. Okay. And I'm not saying that for a pity party. I'm just saying, like, just trust me on this one. So I was like, you know what, we're just putting faith out there. We're going to do this. Still didn't know how. It was October. Didn't know how. Y'all know, right? We got like it was November 19th last year. I had until November 19th to lock it in to start qual. Okay. This is the beginning of October, having people quit on me left and right. Well, my sister, Macy, who I ended up building to Emerald a year prior, it took her a year to join me, by the way. But she was like, I'm going to do this. I want to like try this out. I want to actually do it. And she ended up locking in Diamond. So we started 3-star qual. Okay. She dropped a week later. All right. My sister. And I'm like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. Like, what are we doing here? You know, and of course, giving her tough love and all of that, but it is what it is. And one of the girls in October, or one of the coaches, she's still one of my coaches, she had almost quit the month prior in September because she like, it was a total like shit show of a month. It was her second month in the business. She had no enrollments. She went back to school. She's a teacher, still is a high school teacher, and she just like about to give up. And luckily she stayed around through October because she ended up inching closer to Diamond. So, you know, we go to, I had one of my besties enroll with me, and I share about her because she was someone who's a personal trainer, still a personal trainer, but someone that I never really thought would get into this business, and I never asked her because I was like, oh, she's not going to want to do this. You know, this is like, she's like certified. I'm not. And so she actually showed interest at the beginning of October. And I'm like, okay, that was another side of mine because I was like, you know what? It may not be a bad idea to have a bestie on my side and someone who literally would do anything for me, you know, that we have that type of relationship. But I also knew she has clientele. I knew she had people, and I was like, okay, maybe this can work. Maybe this can happen. And it wasn't as easy with her as I thought it was going to be, but that's another, we'll get to that part of the story. So anyways, it was the beginning of November. Okay, guys, we got back to 3-star, but still I was like trying to get Kirsten to Diamond and my bestie Megan to Diamond. Okay. Like we still were 2 diamonds away. And again, we had until technically November 17th, it was November 17th to lock it in to start qual the next day. Okay. So we're 2 weeks out. Or 3 weeks out. So I go to Scottsdale, Arizona last year because Ashley was holding a retreat for us. And I remember standing there in that kitchen. You have Danielle Natoni across from you because she came in to be our guest. And I was standing there with Shannon because Shannon and I were the ones that were closer to like elite status or whatever out of Ashley's group. And Ashley was standing there, and we were looking at the report because that was when reports came out every Friday. And I like my jaw dropped because I was like, you know, we had broke the top 200. We got to 186. I had never been under like 250 or 300. And that happened. And I was like, okay, we have the points. We're in the top 200. Y'all, we got to do this. And at the same time, my bestie had an unexpected death in the family, like just a sudden death in the family. And I like hadn't talked to her in a few days. And I was just like, oh my gosh, like, you know, one thing after another, right? Speed bump, speed bump, speed bump. And so I just kind of like blessed and released it that month or that weekend. And, you know, she still checked in and stuff, but she checked in with me as I was about to fly home. And, you know, she was like, hey, like I'm back. I'm wanting to get back into it. I need something to keep my mind occupied. And I told Ashley before I left that retreat, I said, I looked her dead in the eye. It was just her and I said, you deserve another elite coach. And I'm going to be that next elite coach for you. Okay. I still, you know, and I remember talking to her after the fact. She was like, I didn't know how you were going to do it. She's like, I believed you could, but you still need it 2 diamonds and all of that in 2 weeks. And so whatever. But anywho, we kept pushing. And tonight, a year to the date, guys, I wanted to share this with y'all. A year to the date, was the day that we locked in our last enrollment to start qual the next day, and Kirsten and my bestie went Diamond that next day. And gosh, I got chills. And we started qual. We started 5-star qual, guys. And you know, I share that, and let me share qual real quick for you. Okay, speed bumps weren't over. So the first like week was good. We were like riding on a high. It was great. You know, once you get to like the next week, you're like, hey, well, this is not going to happen. We got to keep pushing and doing what it takes. And so we just huddled together as a team, group chat, like we text. We kept each other updated. Communication is key, okay? If you're working together it's like a group project. If you're working together, you have to be communicating with each other. So to me, if I knew, you know, someone was inactive, like I'm going to be fixing something, or I'm going to be plugging in enrollment over there and whatever. Like we all had that understanding for the most part. Okay. Remember my first working coach? Yeah. She was traveling to California for Christmas. She went away for 2 weeks, guys. She flat out told us, she was like, okay, I'm not going to be around my phone much. We don't have good service. So just wanted to let y'all know that. And I was like, okay, 2 weeks left of qual, and you're telling me that you're not going to be around very much. This is great. This is great. Okay. So we had a couple of hiccups along the way, right? So the very last day of qual, okay, was Christmas Day. And y'all, I was like, woo, celebrating. We had a little hiccup the week before, but we took care of it. Again, you come together as that team and you figure it out, right? Christmas Day, man, I was like, yes, we're waking up the next day elite, like it's official. An email notification goes off at 4 p.m. on Christmas Day. I was several mimosas in, and coach cancellation. A coach cancellation underneath my little working first coach, okay, underneath one of her emeralds. And I was like, oh, y'all, like, no. We're going to be figuring something out. But we were trying to get a hold of her. She wasn't texting back. And I was like, I'm going to text this girl myself, because I knew the person's name. I knew she was in, my girls' accountability group. I was like, I'm going to get to her. Well, the girl wouldn't answer. She wouldn't reply. I'm like, you're going to sit here and think, oh, on Christmas Day, I'm going to cancel my coach account. And this girl knew, guys, that she was a piece of the puzzle for us going elite. Like, she was fully aware. We kept her, we told her after Christmas, you're good. You can cancel your account if you want to. So anyways, y'all want to know what SAVE does? On a Wednesday, coach cancellations are not processed. It's a Christmas miracle, guys, because there we go. So we woke up a 5-star elite team on Christmas Day, and that's my story, and I am sticking to it. I figured I would stop right there. I mean, I could definitely talk more about the beginning of this year, because I feel like that's also something that needs to be heard. But what questions or anything that you have that I need to elaborate on?
I think for you though, you had your points locked in. Did you have your points locked in before you started your 5-star qual?
Yes.
And I think if you guys, we have some newer coaches on here. And so I'm just going to tell you guys right now, Melissa's a brand new coach. Rianne just recently re-signed up, and helping one person get started in the next week and a half, you guys, is literally going to be 2 pieces of the puzzle. And I like that piece of the puzzle. Laura just locked in Success Club. That's a piece of the puzzle. Kim, you could lock in the piece of the puzzle. And Danica, you could be that last puzzle piece. That's 5 pieces that we need to literally lock in our points.
Yep.
And do it by December 3rd. So we literally wake up a 5-star elite team. There's a reason each one of you, and look at this. You want to see this? Kayla's on this call tonight, a year to the day, okay? If that's not a sign, and then there's a sign because 5 of you that can make this puzzle piece come together are here. So whatever you believe in, right? Whatever you believe in, communication is going to be key. And it's not me hounding you. It's me loving on you guys. And I think Kayla realizes how amazing it is to be able to celebrate it. Because I think I told her, I was like, I'm going to be an elite team this year.
Yep.
And it's just crazy to think that we have 2 weeks left. So she's literally speaking when she had that 2 weeks left, what she had to do. And so please ask the questions, because she had 2 people go diamond in 2 weeks. Laura went diamond in 7 weeks. So she was my final piece of the puzzle, Kayla, to lock in 5-star for us to.
Yes, girl.
It was more or less okay, girl, I've been hounding you for 3 years now. When are you going to come jump in? But So she knew what she was getting into when she signed up. But where are you guys, new coaches, right? Just like Kayla said, like she didn't start off as this huge runner. She started off with this simple goal of helping 3 people a month.
I thought I was a runner, guys. I was so cute at that age. Let me tell you, because I was like, I'm a runner in this business. But looking back, I'm like, no, I didn't like, I was not a runner. And, I want to say this too, because I do the same thing with my team. I'm very open about, okay, here's how y'all help the team. And I think it's important that you guys realize that these points, they can't be collected without the team. It has nothing to do with Heather. Like Heather hitting Success Club and you hitting Success Club. Yes, it's going to help. But it has to do with like the team. And what I think is really cool is that it is such a team thing, but as you are helping your team, Heather's team, build to this goal, it's helping you build a business. It's helping you grow and helping you really see like what you're really capable of, because this isn't like a Heather thing. Us last year was on a Kayla thing. Like it's truly a team effort, and how awesome it is to celebrate that. I actually text the group of ladies that helped us go, elite last year before this call. And I was like, guys, guess what? A year from the day, it was this, and that. Like I was retracking everything. And I remember how stressful it was. And at the same time, how proud it was. And like to be a part of that, like I remember when I was a part of Ashley's Superstar thing, like she's never going to forget that. She's never going to forget that. And to be a part of that, I think it's just very cool. Like I say that proudly. And so to be able to say that you were a part of, Heather, what's the team name again?
The Embrace Empire.
The Embracing Empire. Is that correct?
Yeah, because you're the Inspire Empire.
Yeah, Inspire Empire. Yeah. That's right. I remember. Well, I know your infinity symbol. But to be a part of like the Embrace Empire's first elite year, like own that, y'all. Like be proud. Want to be a part of that, because I promise you, it's going to like it just really it makes such a difference, because you're going to be, your faces. I don't know how Lori does recognition, but I know like, their faces are going to be on, like, you're going to be on there, like recognized. Like it's, again, not Heather, it's the ladies that helped the team get there. And that to me says a lot.
So what questions do you guys have? And listen, I know y'all have questions. Don't be like scared to ask them, because I think that's where we hesitate sometimes. Kayla's definitely not going to bite.
No. I'm really nice. Like I'm pretty chill. I'm an open book. I want to be there for people that, maybe you don't quite believe in yourself and you're like wanting to talk about that, but I want to be there for y'all. So please don't hesitate to ask. I'll say this too. So we talked about going to NLC this past year. So yes, we held 5-star. We ended up dropping a few weeks into January. One of those coaches no longer coaches anymore. And that's fine, whatever. But and my bestie doesn't coach either. I mean, she's still a coach and whatever. She doesn't actively work for business, and we're fine. Like, we're on good terms. Like, it's nothing like that. But it was like we went from 5-star to 4 to 2 to 1. I showed up to NLC as this 1-star coach, which is nothing wrong with being a 1-star coach, but I was there, supposed to be recognized as this elite coach, this 5-star elite coach. I felt like a fraud. I really do. Shannon and I both talked about this because we were in the same boat. We had dropped, our teams just went to shit and, people lost steam, and I get it. Like after a push, it's just like you either keep going or you're like a lot of people and they just like, bye, like I'm done, I'm tired. But you have to really adjust your mindset around that. So quite honestly, this year, I didn't know really what was going to happen because I didn't have working coaches. But around January, again, people started seeing the recognition, and our team just really, it's good for marketing, y'all. You being a part of like the elite bunch, it's good for marketing. Trust me. And I say that in a good way because it's like people see your name more and they see that you're clearly a part of something successful. So they want to be a part of it too, because if you helped a team go this direction, you must be pretty baller yourself. So let me see what this is all about. And so I did. I had probably on average about 3 to 4 coaches enroll with me, like working coaches wanting to work the business, and not all of them did anything with their business, but a good chunk of them did. And we ended up pushing for 7-star and achieved 7-star in April and went elite in July. So guys, it's like once you do, again, what did I say about Success Club 10? Remember I said, once you do that thing, you believe you can do it again. And so I did believe we were going to do elite this year, but I was trying to like wrap my brain around like, well, who's going to be a part of it? The people that were a part of it had nothing to do with what happened in 2019. They were discount coaches or not even enrolled. So.
And we will be Lori's first elite team.
Will you really? Oh, that's a big deal, y'all.
I really think we have a lot in common here, Kayla.
Yeah, a lot of elite
we will be Lori's first elite team, you guys. And
that's even cooler.
I know. I sat with her in 2017 at leadership, and to this day, this is what I grab off of a table, and it sits on my desk because I told her I would be her first elite team. And I mean it. And I think you guys think that I hound you guys, but it's the fact that I pour a lot of belief into this team because I know what you're capable of.
Yeah.
And if you could be capable of that for like 6 weeks, right? And then we can say, okay, breathe. Why do you think I didn't want to go into qualification on 11/26? I want y'all to have a really solid Christmas and New Year's, okay?
Be thankful for that.
So that's why I said, let's do this before. Yeah. And we can get there. We can lock all of it in, but it's going to take the 5 people on this call. And that's no pressure. We have a lot going on in the next week, and we can do it. It's Rianne and Melissa helping 1 person, and it's Danica and Kim helping 3 people. And it's totally possible. Both of y'all have hit Success Club 10 before. So it's totally feasible, and we can work on different ways to get there. We've got a Black Friday sale and everything. So
yeah. Well, and think about it too. I don't know how we're at with like your APV points, like your acquisition. Are you maxed out in that category?
I'm maxed out everywhere except Success Club.
Oh, okay.
So it has to come from PSSE ones and personally sponsored Success Club points. I am literally maxed out in every other category.
Okay. Yeah, APV was, for some reason, APV was a little, I maxed out in the Success Club category, but the APV was like one of the last ones to like max out. So, but yeah, no, you guys, okay, first off, let's not forget the No Excuse November sale going on, the 140, which I think is like silly that people aren't enrolling in that because it's like stupid value. But really talk about that, talk it up, and be confident in it, because it's like, you got to think about, okay, how has this, opportunity helped me? Like, how have I changed since I've become a coach, or how have I changed since I've become a, part of Heather's, online community? Like, what has it done for me? Because truthfully, like, there are people out there that will enroll in November and December. They will. The Christmas thing is not an issue for them. But they have to see you and hear you talking about it all the time and really showing up and sharing your journey. And I know I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir, but I cannot express that enough. People have to see you, because you never know when it's going to be that day where they're like, I need to do this. I'm going to do this, because you showed a workout clip, or you got on there and, said you completed a program, or whatever that looks like, or you just got on and was you. It just, was unapologetically you. So you really do. You never know. But you got to think about this. You cannot run a business if you're only open 12 12 minutes a day. So what I mean by that is like your storefront. Yes, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, whatever social media you use. That's your storefront. Okay. But if you are not posting daily and checking your stories and things of that nature, like, then that to me means your business is closed. So if I see Heather showing up and I'm like, okay, well, today is like, I just feel really good about this, I want to go ahead and enroll, I'll reach out to her. Like, to me, it's like people want to see consistency from their future coach, because if I'm going to expect you to like lead me and guide me, your butt better be consistent, because I'm the one that struggles with consistency, you know? But y'all are so capable of this. You just need, what, 8 points now?
Yeah. Well, if Laura's locked in.
Okay.
We need 8
Yeah.
points. That's 4 people.
You just need, and it helps you get, helps you cushion diamond, and it helps you build your business. Like, it's great. It's great. Y'all got this.
And I say that I would love to include Chelsea, but Chelsea's been there since 2018. So
Oh yeah.
that your points, guys, come from 2019, 2020 coaches, and then rolling into 2021, it'll be 2020, 2021 coaches. So even when you're building your business, just think of that. Like, Chelsea will help me when she rank advances to 1 star, right? Yeah. But she literally she's done what she can do for me this year. She's holding it. She just had a new baby. She started her job back. Like, y'all, like, literally. And she'll be an all-star, so.
You get it, girl.
I know, right? But if she's gone through a lot this past year, you guys, but every single one of us has. And you following up with everybody that you have reached out to before, right? You giving it your all, just like literally consistently showing up and just saying, hey, like, this is me. I preach it all the time. Consistency is like your superpower. 5 years in this business, and it's my superpower. It took 3 years for Kim and Laura to join me. So it's superpower. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I have those people.
Yeah. But you know what? Like, it's because we're consistent, and you're going to get somewhere in this business if you're consistent. It's not going to be like consistent, like, hi, I'm going to be consistent for 6 months, and then I'm going to take a 3-month break.
That's the worst thing you can do. It really is. Like, the thing that I hate about like the business is like when people are like, I'm going to take a step back, and I'm going to respect your wishes. I am. But what I hate is when they try to come back and they're like, oh, this is so hard. Like, I'm struggling. I'm like, well, yeah, because you haven't been around. If you're going to step back, that's fine, but still show your face, still be present. So to me, it's like, if you're in for this, you got to be in for it. You got to be, drinking the Kool-Aid. You got to be doing it every single day, like doing your thing. Cause it's definitely hard to come back, but what's really cool is like, think about this, what the work you're putting in right now, not only is going to help y'all get to elite, but it's also going to help you in January, February, and March. Because what you do today matters then. And I don't know if y'all have people from a year ago. So here's like a little tip. I don't know if this is going to be helpful, but like I would go to my back office and see who's set to renew for BOD. And I'll try to get them to, like, customer wise, I'll get them to enroll in a challenge pack for Success Club points, because usually I can convert them into a coach, or it's been longer than 6 months since I've had Success Club points from them. But I reach out to them like, hey, I see you're set to renew your BOD, subscription in a few days, and it's going to be $100. Just wanted to let you know that right now our challenge packs are actually only $40 more, and you're going to be getting, the nutrition program.
Yeah.
You're going to be getting the supplements, like this and that, and it always works.
Especially now for 140. And if I haven't reached out to you yet, I'm giving an extra $10 and goodie bags to everybody that signs up. So like, they're getting it for 130, you guys, and they're getting a weekender pack for me.
Yeah.
You can't get I'm not kidding when I say that. So I think that Kim and Danica, You guys probably have people maybe like January, February, March, even March timeframe. Go back to those customers. Yeah, they're going to lose like a month on their bod, but still they can renew it now and get everything for 140, 130,
Mm-hmm.
So if that's a way we can, and they need to be customers, not coaches, if you want Success Club points.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I hope you guys, I really hope that this call helped tonight, because I know what it's like. I knew what Kayla went through last year. And I also know her heart and her hustle. And I preach it all the time. It's hard, it's hustle, it's dedication, it's commitment, but it's going to be worth it. And I see it in all of you guys. And even Melissa and I like go way back, and she just signed up with me, but like helping one person, get them signed up and get going. Right. And it's a piece of the puzzle, and it's just small pieces that come together that really have to make this work. So Kayla, thank you so much for like just coming and jumping on. It really did. Like, I was so excited. I was like, yay. And we've been trying to do this forever. So it was just it's kind of like the perfect timing, guys, if you want to say that. So, go follow Kayla. She's raw. She's real. She tells it how it is with a little bit of rap. Okay. A little bit of rap, a little bit of beer. She loves it. Okay. But she's like, honestly, like you go follow her. There's no comparison game there, because it's just very flow. It's like a very good flow. Okay. You're not going to go to her page and be like, oh my God, I'm going to go compare myself. If you're going to compare, don't follow her. But I'm going to tell you, I follow her because I don't compare myself to her, because I knew that journey that she was on and where she was, and it's capable. So y'all, tomorrow we're going to wake up one step closer. We're locked in. We locked it in yesterday.
Yay!
So we have 2 weeks left.
2 more weeks. You got this.
To literally lock in the points and lock in our qualification. And I'm here for whatever y'all need, conversation-wise, scripts-wise, and belief-wise. It's a mindset game. And I don't care, like, if you don't believe in it, like, if you don't believe in personal development, please believe in it. Because 2.5 years into this business, I didn't believe in it. And now I'm sitting here, and I'll tell you guys, I'm sitting here knowing my husband's not going to come home, right? I know my parents literally just finalized their divorce of 40 years, okay? I have a lot going on in my life right now. And I show up every day for you guys, okay? So my mindset 2.5 years ago would not have been able to handle an elite team. Today, it will. So we're going to rock this out together. And I'm always here. And even look, Kayla, she'll probably answer your questions if you message her. That's just how she is. So totally. Kayla, you will be one of the first people to know when I lock that in, girl.
Please. I love it. I'm going to cheer y'all on. I'm so excited. And guys, just be a ripple. Just think about, who can I help today? Like, this is not just some BS business, guys. We're providing a gift that can potentially change someone's life that has nothing to do with weight loss. It may be, who knows what it may be, but the answer is always no until you ask. So ask everybody, and just know that, like, it's going to take probably more inviting and more of this and that. And that's